What's up, mamas? I'm Rebecca. You're watching the Reseller Mom Show. Thank you for joining me today for another great video. At least I think so. This one is going to be all about my operations, updates, everything I'm doing in 2020. What I find sometimes challenging when I watch other YouTubers that have reselling channels is that if I've been following them for a while, I kind of know the process and the story, but sometimes I fall out of touch with them. I don't watch their videos for a while and I kind of don't know what's going on, and all of a sudden they're doing this and all of a sudden they're doing that. And I feel confused as far as like, well, what happened to that thing that you were doing before? And while it's hard to have your own reselling business and do YouTube and do Instagram and do all your other things, I'm not complaining about it. It is hard sometimes to update your audience on the things that you're doing and the changes you've made and why. So what I thought I would do is at least annually, for myself as well, to document through my channel what I'm doing and the changes I make and why. I thought I would share with you a 2020 operations update. That's what I'm calling it. So I'm going to just kind of go through the things that I do so that you can see how I operate my business. And I'm really hoping that this will serve as a springboard for future videos. So what I'd love for you to do is, as you're watching, make some notes or leave some comments. I know you're busy. You're probably doing 3 things at once right now, but if you can, just leave me some comments as far as like, do you want to hear more about a certain thing? Because sometimes I'm too close to what I'm doing to realize what might be a good topic to share with others. And if I've learned anything about having a YouTube channel in the reselling industry, is that we all think so differently, and something that comes naturally to me may not come naturally to you, and something that you think of is like a huge game changer for me that I would have never thought of. So I think it's all about exchanging ideas and using our different perspectives to help each other grow. That's what this channel is all about. Getting more done, making more money, staying sane as a reselling mom. And so I just want to be able to share everything I'm doing with you, and then you let me know, what do you want to know more about? And hopefully we can go from there. So leave comments as we go. Also subscribe and like this video. Shout out. So let's start with sourcing, because I feel like it kind of all begins there most of the time. I'm going to be going to the bins 2 or 3 days a week. Right now, in the beginning of the year, first quarter usually, my mom is here snowbirding from New Jersey. So I do have the ability to go sourcing more. And because she can watch Geo and I can run out over nap, and just extra times throughout the week, I'm going to source as much as I possibly can, because it helps me in the second quarter and the third quarter, where you kind of have that summertime where we're not really sure if Geo is going to go to little school or not this summer. Last year he did 2 half days a week. So I'm not sure what we're doing this year. And so I want to make sure that I have a lot of death piles, money piles, but you know that I don't call them that. I call it unlisted inventory, and I want a stockpile of it before my mom leaves. So I want to increase my listings and do all the listings and get it all up and sell it, but I also want to stockpile my sourcing so that I have a lot for over the summer in case I need it. So I'm going to go to the bins 2 to 3 times a week. I am going, when I go to the bins, I earn Goodwill points, and then I take those to the Goodwill retail and I spend them. So I'm really trying not to go to the Goodwill retail and pay even fuller half price there. I want to just spend my points and then pay the little bit extra. So like the other day I had 500 points, 200 points is $5. So I had like $11 or something. I don't know what I had, but I spent $13 after the $11, and it was great because I got like 8 items for $13, which was perfect. So it's nice to be able to kind of offset the prices even more when I spend my points. So I'm going to limit my Goodwill retail shopping to just spending points. The other thing that I do, if you've watched my channel, you know I get airport lost luggage auctions. I bid on these auctions from people that lose their luggage at the airport, and their loss is my gain, and I get a lot at one time. It's not all usable, but when I go through it and I sort it out, I find really great gems. So I will be continuing to source there. It may not be every month. I'm going to kind of see what I think, because it is a lot of unusable stuff. And so I definitely think it's worth it, but I just want to really make sure. So I am bidding on it for this month, for January. So we'll see how that goes, and then I'll decide what I'm doing going forward. But I definitely will be utilizing, I just may not do it as much as I was. And then clearance sales from like Style Encore, Plato's Closet, things like that. I really am not doing a lot of garage sales. If I see one, I'll stop by, but it's hit or miss, and I just feel like sometimes it's a giant waste of my time. So I don't know that I'm going to do a lot of garage sales. I don't usually hit up a lot of church rummage sales. They're usually on the weekend, and the weekend is difficult for Gio and I, because my husband works on the weekends, and so then it's just a regular day for us, and it can be difficult. So those are kind of my main sourcing methods. Not to say that I won't do other things, but that's the bread and butter of my sourcing. When I get the items, I would love to do more haul videos. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but that would be the next step. And then sorting all the items and hanging them up on my rack back here. So that's kind of the upfront stuff. Then 1 to 2 days a week, I'm going to batch photograph. Again, I'm no longer working with my photographer. We split amicably. She may come back in the future. We'll see. But for right now, I'm doing about 35 to 70 items in a photo batch. So on a Wednesday and a Sunday, usually, I'm doing about 35 items, or I'm doing about 70 items. And so that's kind of gotten me through doing it all by myself. And I'll explain to you how many listings I'm putting up and all of that in a second. So the photos are all me. I'm not doing the weight. I'm not weighing items because I'm not on eBay. We'll talk about that in a second. So I'm not weighing items. I'm not including a thank you card anymore. I have a lot still from my last order, but I'm testing out how much time it's saving me, and it's actually saving me. I mean, you don't think about it, but getting it, putting it, making sure it's laying right, laying flat, and then weighing the item, those two things combined have saved me a lot of time. And since I'm doing all the photos myself, I'm trying to save as much time as I possibly can. So I'm not weighing items, not doing the thank you card. I'm doing a resealable bag. This size is 9 by 12. With a label. I get these all on Amazon. All the links are in my Amazon store, so check that out if you want to try it out. But these labels work great. So I'm doing that to put them in. Then they go in an IKEA bag, 25 at a time. So I actually, I do the bags like this. So they're all labeled, and then this is the last one in the set of 25. So it'd be like 2,900 to 2,925, then to 2,950, then to 2,975. So this is 2,951 to 2,975, and it's in this nice, neat little pack. I can pull that out, do all the photos, throw them all in an IKEA bag, and I know that that's 25. And those 25 are in the IKEA bag, and they go to my storage unit. And that's how they're stored on the shelves. And I'm doing a chronological order. So I'm just adding items and item numbers to the end, and then as things sell, I'm condensing the bags down to shrink the footprint of it, but I'm not reusing the numbers. So I'm just adding higher and higher numbers on the end. If you are curious about that, I have an inventory system video. I have all of those videos previously, so check those out on my channel because I've covered all of that in detail. The next I'm instituting this year is doing inventory as I go. I either have coming up or have already done, depends on when these all air, an inventory video for the audit purpose. So at the end of the year, I conduct an inventory audit for tax purposes and to cross-check all my items and make sure that everything's good and to count what I have. And again, that video covers all of that. But one of the changes I'd like to make is actually doing a smaller inventory throughout the year where I'm pulling out one bag or bin and checking those items through on an ongoing basis to cut down on the amount of shenanigans that happen at the end of the year. So I'm going to be doing that, and I'm going to condense my bags down as I go. So as I sell 10 things from that bag and 4 things from that bag and 3 things from that bag, I could eventually put them all in one bin or bag. And that's what I mean by condensing. I do go over that in my inventory system video. So that all leads now to the listing process. As you know, or may not know, I have a virtual assistant. She's amazing. My business could not operate without her, and she does my listings for me. So I take the photos, I take pictures of everything, including like the item number and everything and the measurements, and then she gets them in a Google Photos folder, and she creates the listings from those photos. So right now we're at 5 a day. I'm hoping though, now that I've kind of gotten my act together, holiday stuff is over, we're full swing of the new year, that I can do my full throttle, which is 10 listings a day. I don't think I'll be able to do, with me taking all the photos, more than that. We'll see. Maybe every once in a while in spurts I can do some more than that. But I don't think on an ongoing basis, on a weekly basis, I can do more than 10 listings a day photo-wise, sourcing-wise and photo-wise. I don't think I'll be able to find that many items with the amount of sourcing I can do. I don't think I'll be able to photograph that amount of items with the amount of time I have to photograph to then give it all to the VA to list. She could list exponentially this one, but the bottleneck is me. So when Geo goes, to more school for longer, then that's different. But so right now 10 is probably where I'm going to max out, and I may need throughout the year to throttle back to 5 listings if I ever get behind or when we have a vacation or whatever. So 5 to 10 listings. They're going on Poshmark. Then she's cross-posting them all to Mercari. When she puts them on Mercari, she's adding a couple of bucks because on Mercari I do free shipping. And what I found is that on some items, having them all be the same price is fine because there's less of a fee on Mercari. But on some items, especially when they're heavier, it's a hit. And you want to leave room for offers. So what I'm having her do is across the board add $4 from my Poshmark price to my Mercari price to cover in general kind of shipping. And that also allows me then to take offers down. I will say that in general, my Mercari sales are down, and so I may change that in the future because what I have on Poshmark for 19 is now 23 on Mercari, and I think that that's like an issue. So we'll see how it goes. I may change that. But everything from Poshmark goes to Mercari, free shipping on Mercari. We're doing relists on Mercari, so on a daily basis, she's going in and relisting from the bottom, the oldest items on Mercari, 5 to 10 listings. Now, I'm not utilizing currently any List Perfectly or Vendoo or any software. I've kind of tested out and looked at it, and I can't go there yet. I have her. She's doing great. I'm okay with what I'm paying her, and that's working out fine for me. So I'm not interested, at least at the moment, in any software to help me. But I do see value in that, and I'm not against it. I just am not there yet mentally. So she's relisting on Mercari as an activity to bring listings to the top and get more exposure. That's been okay. I won't say it's changed the world, but it's helped me get some more sales. So I think that's worth doing. I'd like to make more of a strategic effort on Mercari because I've just kind of always gone along. I've never really actively tried to do things and experiment with stuff like I have with Poshmark. And while they don't have all the functionality that Poshmark does to mess with stuff, I do think there's things I can do if I just put my mind to it. So hopefully throughout the year I can put my mind to Mercari and come up with some more strategies for myself and to share with you. On Poshmark, I'm doing offers to likers, and when I say I mean my VA. It's doing offers to likers once a day on everything that's gotten a like from 24 hours. So from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern, she's sending out a 30% offer on items over $15 for any item that's been liked over the last 24 hours. And the next day, she's going to do the next 24 hours, and that happens on a daily basis, and that has worked out well. She's also doing closet clear out price drops for me with varying criteria that I give to her. As far as eBay goes, I was on eBay and everything used to be cross-posted to all 3 platforms. Now I have stopped eBay, kind of. I've downgraded my store to a basic store from a premium. I have about 220 whatever listings on there at the moment. And I haven't actively listed any new listings on eBay since December 1st, 2019. Right now it's January 13th, 2020. And so I'm still getting sales periodically. For a while I was still getting daily sales. Now it's like every little bit. And that's fine. I would like to sell down what I have on there. Some of it's like, well, it's just more higher value stuff. Because I figured if I have to deal with eBay, I want to make more money of it. So I'm not even putting like little stupid stuff on there right now. Nothing new has been going on there. I am running a 20 or 25% off back-to-back sale. I am running free shipping and 1% promoted on a few replenishable items that I have on there, some multiple quantity listings. But other than that, I'm not really even logging into eBay on a daily basis right now. And so I'm just kind of letting it be until I get everything else going the way I want it to, and I'm a little bit further into the year. And then probably around the second quarter is when I will start to figure out what I want to do with eBay. Refreshing listings, revising listings, maybe listing every once in a while. Like, I'm just going to try to figure out what I want to do over there because I don't want to get rid of eBay. I recognize that there is, if you're doing this full time, you kind of need eBay. Like, you need all of them to cobble together a proper salary. At least I think, at least the way I'm doing it. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And so I needed a break from chasing eBay and trying to get eBay to really do what I wanted it to do. Like, I was always making daily sales. It was perfectly fine. I just didn't feel like I was making the money I wanted to profit-wise, because it wasn't easy to see. And I also didn't want to deal with the returns and all of the shenanigans that go into it. Running the sale, promoted listings, doing this, it's just like, I just want to put it up there and like share it, and that's it. Like, I don't want to do all this stuff. So I know, I'm so grumpy. I'm so sorry. But eventually I will figure it out. And I do have a whole video on why I made some of these changes and why I left eBay. And so you could check those out on the channel as well. So I get up really early, 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30. Different days are different. But a lot of times 4:30. And I do a lot of work on the computer. Usually I'm working on activating the drafts, getting my Instagram post ready, doing a couple stories, checking YouTube and answering YouTube comments, setting up my plan for the day, revising listings, working on my Etsy store, which has all of my reseller swag and reseller resources and tools that are available for you, and working on my print on demand, because as you know, I do other multiple streams of income. If you're curious about them, I have a video just about my multiple streams of income as well, and I'd actually like to talk about them more in the future too. So I do a lot of work early in the morning. Then I go do my shipping. My VA is printing my labels for me, which is fantastic. I complete the shipping, and then the rest of the day is, dependent on what's going on with Gio. Is it a school day? Is it not a school day? He only goes 3 half days, so it's not all the time. Are we running errands? Is something going on? But I usually try to get some concentrated project done, whether it's recording YouTube videos that day or whether it is, taking the photos that day, or whether it's a sourcing day. There's usually some other chunk of work being done, and then pretty much that's it. I don't spend 8 hours a day on my business. I may spend 4 to 6 broken up throughout the day is probably what ends up happening, I would say. And that's not every day consistently. It just depends on what's going on. So for me, the morning time is really when I get a lot of the stuff done. That's why I do have my VA help me with so many things. I do hold clearance sales once a quarter-ish, where everything I don't want anymore from my business, I put outside in a garage sale style format, sell it for $1, all clothing, and it's done really well. I have a video on it. So that is actually coming up next week, so I'll be working on that. I do sell back things to places like Style Encore and Plato's Closet and Once Upon a Child, so that I can offload some things, or maybe I source it specifically to sell there. It's not something that I want to sell online, but I know it's sellable for a profit there. So I do some of that. And then I do local closet clear outs, where I post in Facebook groups and promote that I do closet clear outs, and I go to people's houses and just pick up. I don't go inside their house, but I pick up the clothes they don't want, take it home, review it, make them an offer, basically like a consignment store or a sell back store like Style Encore, but I do it mobily and from home, and make people offers and take their clothes and donate what they don't want or return what they don't want. I have a whole video on it, and I also have an ebook that I wrote on it, which is sold, I won't say smashingly well, but I've had a lot of sales on it, and I'm very excited that people think it's a good enough idea and trust me enough to think that my plan and everything that I do and all of my posts and all the communications is in there, that it's worth the money. And I've gotten good feedback on it, so I'm really happy that people have purchased my ebook. That's on the Etsy store as well. So I do that, and that's a good way to get merchandise as well locally without having to go to the bins. I do have another Poshmark closet that is not for public consumption right now. I'm still kind of learning what I'm doing with them, doing something different with it. And so I'm sharing in my What Sold Fast videos my sales in totality and aggregation, but I'm not sharing what it is just yet until I kind of figure it out a little bit more and really get comfortable with it. But that has been bringing in, at least the last 2 or 3 weeks, about $500, $600, $700 a week, which is fantastic. So that's going on as well, and hopefully that will bolster a little bit. I do about 3 YouTube videos a week, 3 to 4, depending. I have the Etsy store with reseller tools and swag. So anything that I use in my business, I've made available for instant download, so that you can purchase it and use it too. And those are things that have either helped me, saved me time, saved me effort, just a tool, just a trick. It's all in there. So check it out when you have a minute. And just like things like, I don't even have it with me. I think it's in the wash. Coffee mugs. I have a thrifting one that's been kind of popular over the holidays, and I have a hustle one. So, and then a couple t-shirts, and I'll probably do some more. I just haven't had time. And then I have my print on demand business that I work on, which is t-shirts and mugs and things like that I have on Amazon and Etsy as well. And so I design the things, and then I get a royalty every time it sells. So that's, for the most part, everything that I'm working on. Obviously, I was more specific with the reselling business because that's what you guys are mostly interested in. And those are pretty much the operations. I like I said, I put this all out, but I'm sure that there's maybe a topic in here that you are curious about. And if you leave me a comment below, not only will I answer your question, but I would love to then use that as a topic for a future video idea. Not because I don't have any video ideas, because Lord help me, I have pages and pages of video ideas and no time to record them. But sometimes I don't want to do the video that I want to do. I want to do the video that you want me to do. What are your questions? What are you curious about? What is it that I'm doing that you don't get? You're like, why are you doing that? I'd be happy to make a video and tell you about it. So leave me some comments, ask me some questions, like this video on the way out, subscribe to the channel for more. And thank you so much for spending time with me. I know I was a little rambly, but I did want to get this all out. I do think it's good to have a documenting for my own self, and then hopefully it's also just helpful as a kind of a timestamp at the beginning of the year to kind of show you what I'm working on, how I'm doing things, because I'm sure by the end of the year, things will look different. So hopefully you will join me all along my journey. Thanks so much, and I will see you next time.